it or not, the following films actually got made and were released in the 21st century.
Cat got your tongue.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst movies of the 2000s.
But they did fail. I saw the photo.
Yes, they failed, all right. Disastrously so.
For this list, although we can all agree that there are different levels of bad, we'll be looking at North American big-budget studio productions.
Well, just remember, whatever it is, it could always be worse, you know.
We'll be basing our choices on a mix of critical and commercial success, or rather a lack thereof, the quality of the films in terms of story, effects, acting, and so on, as well as how they are generally perceived these days.
You look like an orange with lips.
Movies that never got an official wide theatrical release, like The Room, won't be included.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
This is part of a series of videos spanning the decades. Number 10, The Fog.
Spooner, the engine's dead. Nobody care about that.
The Naughties were notorious for giving us dozens and dozens of subpar horror remakes and sequels.
You tell your pal, when he thaws out, he better have a damn good story.
Although these films can populate their own worst movies list, the biggest offender was clearly this mess of a film.
Somebody please beam me out of here.
The Fog is an epic slap in the face to horror legend John Carpenter and his classic ghost story. It fails on all grounds, as we watch people run away from vapor for 103 minutes. It doesn't scare you, thrill you, or make you feel any emotion except boredom. It is literally as interesting as watching fog roll by.
Now what kind of fog moves against the wind?
You got me.
Number 9, The Master of Disguise.
This is what you're doing. This is what I want you to do.
People cannot deny that Saturday Night Live alum Dana Carvey is a brilliant mimic and impersonator. After watching this film, though, it's difficult to see where this brilliance went.
Okay, so you want to play games? Let's play games. Who's your daddy?
In this comedy fantasy, which was co-written by Carvey himself, we watch as a bumbling Italian waiter named Pistachio Disguisi, we are not joking, who's obviously destined to be a master of disguise, tries to thwart a criminal mastermind and save his parents.
I can't turn mud into oatmeal, for example. I can't build a spaceship that will travel to Pluto.
No, but you can find a way to rescue your mama and your papa.
Offensive stereotypes and non-stop fart jokes punctuate a random series of events that seems to have been collected from failed sketch ideas.
Am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club?
This kind of humor is akin to children's films, but please don't subject your kids to this.
What if harm found its way to you? Terrible, terrible, terrible harm. Would that change your mind?
Number 8, Dragonball Evolution.
A warlord named Piccolo came from beyond the stars, bringing darkness and chaos to our once peaceful world.
The decision to make this film adaptation of the beloved anime and manga live action at all was the first major mistake.
With this Dragon Ball, I take my vengeance upon the earth.
Telling you that they cast Caucasians in Asian roles and employed horrible special effects doesn't even come close to explaining everything else that went wrong.
Let us out now!
Dragon Ball Evolution pretty much ignored its source material and created an alternate, Americanized universe as we follow a bored and annoying Justin Chatwin as he delivers some of the worst dialogue ever written. Oh, and there's something about Dragon Balls thrown in there just in case.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is a Dragon Ball. Sushinshu, 4-star ball. I promised my grandfather I would keep it safe, so I'm not letting anyone take it from me.
Fans just want to forget this, and we apologize for bringing back traumatizing memories.
Stop! You both have to stop!
Now, I'm going to end it.
Number 7, The Adventures of Pluto Nash.
You blew up my wood bar stools! You know how hard it is to get wood on the moon?
Very few comedic actors have risen so far only to crash so hard later on. And The Adventures of Pluto Nash marked the beginning of Eddie Murphy's meteoric decline. Anybody remember Norbit?
Hey, you there!
In The Adventures of Pluto Nash, Murphy stars as a club owner / ex-con living in a futuristic colony on the moon.
They're about to approve gambling in this town, and if Crater gets his way, they'll turn the whole moon into a big casino.
Then more stuff happens with gangsters, androids, and clones that nobody cared about. Does anybody even remember the plot of this movie? Although Eddie Murphy seems to be having fun, you can tell that he knew this was going nowhere.
How did they find us?
Obviously, you did something stupid.
It's too silly to be a sci-fi adventure movie, but also, shockingly, lacks any actual form of comedy.
We're gonna run out of air long before we need food and water, trust me.
Number 6, Son of the Mask.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. That was flat out embarrassing.
If you know someone who thought The Mask could have worked without Jim Carrey, please show him or her this sorry excuse for a movie.
Who are you?
I am Loki, god of mischief.
Yeah, and I'm Tim, god of crazy babyland. Will you get out of the way?
That baby is born of the mask. My mask. Now, where is it?
Lacking any sense of charisma, style, or actual laughs, this sequel decides to appeal to a younger audience and features crude humor and silly, obnoxious characters instead.
I'm a god. I can shapeshift. I can create stuff out of nothingness. I can alter the fabric of reality. So, please, quit being a knucklehead.
With Loki back on Earth looking for his mask, it of course falls into the wrong hands. And we're then introduced to one of the most unlikable lead characters ever portrayed on film.
Hey, Loki.
Honey, you look hot.
Give me back my son!
Jamie Kennedy and his terrifying toddler just pretty much scream and drool throughout this very inadequate sequel. And needless to say, that does not make for a very compelling movie.
This is insane! Point it down!
Number 5, Catwoman. Here's a movie executive board meeting we can't imagine happening. Hey guys, the campiness of Batman and Robin was such a success. Let's create the same cheesy atmosphere for this Batman spin-off and not use Batman at all. Extra points to Halle Berry for agreeing to do this fresh off her Oscar win, though.
Cats come when they feel like it, not when they're told.
It won Razzies for Worst Picture, Screenplay, Actress, and Director, and everybody, even Halle Berry, agreed that this was a piece of garbage. Not only did it have barely anything to do with the DC Comics character, but it also lacked any strong female characters, action sequences, or even a compelling plot. Where's Michelle Pfeiffer when we need her?
Game over. Guess what? It's overtime.
Number 4, Gigli.
It's turkey time.
Huh?
Gobble, gobble.
Thanks to Bennifer 1.0, this monstrosity received way more attention than it deserved. However, that didn't stop the movie from being among Hollywood's most expensive bombs ever.
In every relationship, there's a bull and a cow. It just so happens that in this relationship right here with me and you, I'm the bull. You're the cow.
In Gigli, Ben Affleck is a mobster who needs to kidnap a prosecutor's mentally handicapped brother in order to help a crime boss played by Al Pacino avoid prison.
Who's this?
Who's this?
I don't find this funny.
Who's this?
Is this the retard?
You all guessed right. This is clearly a romantic comedy. This movie is offensive to the mentally challenged, to lesbians, and to any audience members with eyes or ears.
There is no place nowhere that has been the object of more ambitions, more battles, than the sweet, sacred mystery between a woman's legs that I am proud to call my pussy.
After winning 6 Razzies, it later won a 7th for Worst Comedy of the Razzies' first 25 years. Well deserved.
I'm not sure how to take that.
Number 3, Disaster Movie.
What magical creature are you?
We can't help but wonder if the powerhouse pair made up of Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer know how much they can be disliked in the movie industry and by moviegoers.
How'd you end up there?
Drugs. Lots and lots and lots of mind-altering, enchanting drugs!
Nevertheless, they continue to churn out these horrible parody films, and someone apparently keeps giving them money to do so.
I know you guys think I'm crazy, but all these disasters have something to do with the Crystal Skull.
It's like TMTH.
TM what?
Too much to handle?
Somebody should show these two the definition of parody. It does not mean dress up like a famous character and make fart noises. Although Meet the Spartans, Epic Movie, or any of their other movies could easily fit in this list, we wanted to spare you the trauma and just cite this disaster.
He's the guy who ruined Star Wars.
Number 2, Alone in the Dark.
What the hell's going on here?
Especially known for his video game adaptations, Uwe Boll has built a reputation for directing some of the worst movies of all time, with most of his productions becoming critical and box office disasters. He also doesn't care what you think.
Just because you can't see something doesn't mean it can't kill you.
Although House of the Dead deserves a special mention, it's his other video game adaptation that's our runner-up.
Ish, the list of people I trust is short. I won't make it any shorter.
In Alone in the Dark, Christian Slater uses his special powers to chase after these demonic creatures that used to be worshipped by an extinct civilization. And it is epically bad.
It's 713. He implanted us with those things.
Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here are some honorable, or in this case, dishonorable mentions.
What's this? Oh, this is escargot. Snails. It's like a French delicacy.
So somebody went all the way to France for this?
So my finger got cut off. But nobody did it. Who's gonna believe that?
We're just here to use the bathroom. And then we're just gonna leave. I hope that's okay.
Where do you get all these ordinance?
Some women buy shoes.
Wait.
Why do you have a gun on your ship, PP?
It's a flare gun.
A flare gun. Ha!
Number 1, Battlefield Earth.
Do you want lunch?
Many of our entries can be seen as career killers, but Battlefield Earth brought John Travolta to an all-time low.
Oh, thank you, sir. I don't know if I could have kept my sanity to be here another 5 cycles.
Although most actors are forced to take these steps down for a paycheck, Travolta spent years bringing this movie to the world, claiming its source material was better than Star Wars.
Please forgive my pretension as I try to educate you in Cyclo, the noble language of our superiors.
Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard wrote the book in an attempt to bring the religion to younger audiences, and that book serves as the basis of the sci-fi action flick. Needless to say, the world wasn't interested.
You are pathetic. You wouldn't last 1 day at the Academy.
When the most horrible acting you've ever seen is topped by camera work that will give you a cramp in the neck, it's not surprising that you have a recipe for unintentional hilarity.
Stupid humans.
Do you agree with our list?
What do you think?
What do you think is the worst movie of the 2000s?
Yeah, I don't want to be the big doofus.
For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
I must have faith in who I am.